So for this video, guys, we're going to look at pinch zone 4. I'm going to talk about this coverage, talk about the looks, and basically what we like to do with it. Now, the first thing I want to make sure that I mention with pinch zone 4, I typically like to use this as a defense that I like to do against compressed sets, especially bunch, where they're trying to flood one side. So let's go take a look at this. Now, we know that with cover 4, typically speaking, you're going to get either one or two types of cover 4s. The cover 4 drops plays just like the way the play art shows. Your other ones are match ones. This one's a little bit tricky to understand because it looks like it does not have any quarter flats underneath it, but this is definitely a match cover 4. And I'll show it to you basically real quick on how that would work. All I'm going to do is put the B on a streak and basically do something like this to where it's a popular setup. I'm just going to hike the ball, and you're going to see that one guy is going to take the B, the other person's going to take the RB, and we've got it locked down. See how they didn't play traditionally on the cover 4? They matched, okay? Now, again, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we set it up just the way we would with other ones. So we're going to do the same thing with the first one's going to be stack, which we're going to base the line, and then we're going to move our linebackers over. Now, what you're going to see here is that you've got that ability that this guy basically stays on that spot. It basically kind of gives you an opportunity to kind of have a loop around blitz. And then what you have on this is you do have the ability to also put him in coverage if you like. With cover 4, what you're going to have a couple different things. What I like to do with your cover 4, knowing that the right side is all going to be locked down, you can definitely put somebody underneath it. And basically do something like this where you put the hard flat on the field, right? So you got the hard flat to the right. So that way, if there's any type of hard flat, that's basically done. Now, what you can do as well, of knowing that this kind of deal, you can put a hard flat over here. You can go ahead if you want to man up the running back. Because if you're manning up the running back, you'll know if he's blocking, you're going to have that extra person basically either who's going to rush the quarterback or kind of basically double up on somebody. And then you can kind of roll it. Or you can basically do something where you put this guy on a hard flat as well. Just to make sure that if there's any type of drags that go from right to left, that they're going to have a very minimal space. You can go ahead and also put him, if you want to, on a quarterback spy. And because you really don't need to have that side on the left if you feel like you're a running quarterback. Or you can leave him on the blitz, right? There's basically all that type of stuff. Now, this player here, what you also can do is you can man him up on anybody, right? Because of the player that he is. So if you're feeling like you are, worried about a skinny post by the B receiver, you could definitely man him up there. You could put him on a middle third and then user this player. Because this guy has a little bit more options to him, you have a lot more options that you can do, and you can just man up and you can just user this player if you like, right? So it's really about what you want to do with this. Oftentimes I'll do a mid-read because that's going to be a little bit less of a deeper route, and especially with those other players, you're going to be able to do that, and then I'll be able to user this guy. You really have a lot of options when it comes to this, right? When it comes to the stack look. So that's basically that. So the next thing what we're going to do is basically look at the base look. And base look is just the same. And what we're going to do is we're just going to base the line. And that's basically our look. A lot of times what we're going to do is we're going to shift to the left. And, now you're going to see that you've got that ability a lot of the times to get this guy off the edge if they're not blocking, right? So see how the Y is going out to that side. I'm just going to swing him left so he's not really in the way. And what you'll see with this base look is that you're going to have that opportunity as well to put this guy on a hard flat. And you can roam basically looking for any deep routes or any routes that go underneath from right to left. In this type of situation, I'm looking over here. And you're going to see that basically you have that ability of kind of, matching players, right? So I just want to make sure that you see that you've got something like that. And then the next look is going to be what we call the double edge look, where we're going to base the line. We're going to shift left. We're going to bring this guy down, right? In this instance, what you're going to do here is make sure that you've got a great opportunity on this type of deal to sending both sides. Or you can go ahead and put the hard flat out there to make sure that we got that going. We're going to move this guy here. and then you're just going to be kind of playing the same way, right? The reason why I like this, and a lot of times we're going to want to, in a bunch situation, it's not going to be a big deal. We don't have to move these guys up too much. In other situations, we may, just because we want to make sure that we're in the run fits as well. But you're going to have a lot of options when it comes to just locking everything down with this at a cover 4 in compressed sets. Now, if they're in something like a gun tight slots, you're going to have that same situation. You know, say bench, where we're going to be able to basically have them match up on those players. The hard flats that side, say they're blocking the running back. And then I've got the ability with this is also to put a hard flat on this side, right? So, you know, you've got that, you know, ability across the board that you could still send 4, but you're actually sending 5, because what we're going to do here is we're going to do this little touch and go. And we're going to just basically sit here, and you're going to be able to, you know, have everything locked down. That's why I really like it when it comes to this. And that's why you want to mix in the looks in order to make it and kind of, you know, do your different types of adjustments off of it. So the last look is going to be your Crossfire 2 cover 4. So you always got to call Crossfire first when you're doing this. And this is definitely something that I continue to do a lot, just because of the fact that I want to keep people on their toes. So we want to go to this as much as possible against a bunch. So say you wanted to do a Crossfire Blitz, you end up seeing that it's bunch. So I'm going to go audible to pinch zone 4, right? And I'm going to base the line. Now you're going to see it looks just like it. And you're just going to go ahead and proceed the way you want. You know, if you just want to do all coverage, you put the guys on hard flats, and then you cover the middle. This guy should be on a hard flat, and then you cover the middle, right? Real simple. But we don't want to move these guys when we do it. You know, the reason why is because we want to make sure that they think it's Crossfire, because that is a indication that it's Crossfire. So if we're doing all these looks and we're setting Crossfire when we show this look, people are going to key on that, and we want to make sure that we make them believe that they're going to put a cover 3 Crossfire type of setup on the field, and kind of work it out that way. So I want to make sure you see that and kind of go from there when it comes to how you would run this cover 4 defense.